Hi guys. Let us see a quick revision related to Akbar. He was a third ruler of Mughal Empire. He was a most famous Mughal king. Akbar was born in Amarkot in Sindh provinces. Humayun was his father. When Akbar assumed the power, he was only 14-year-old. After the death of Humayun, Humu, the military general of Bengal, and King Muhammad Shah Abduli opposed and conquered Delhi and Agra. This led to the terrific battle at Panipat in 1556 between Humayun and Mughals. This is known as the Second Battle of Panipat. First Battle of Panipat was held in between the Ibrahim Lodi and Babur in the year 1526, and second battle was in between the Akbar and Humayun in the year 1556. In that battle, Akbar emerged victorious and he won that battle. His prime minister and royal representative Bairam Khan come to Akbar's assistance during that war. With the help of a powerful army, Akbar conquered Malwa, Jaipur, Gundawan, Chittoor, Ranthambore, Kalinjar, Gujarat and Bengal area, and he established a powerful empire in India. The Battle of Haldighat is the most significant battle in the history of medieval India. After the death of Chittoor King Rana Uday Singh, his son Rana Pratap Singh came to power. Akbar sent his powerful army under the leadership of Governor General Man Singh and Asif Khan to fight against Rana Pratap. In the Battle of Haldighat, the Mughal army was win that battle. The remaining states Kashmir, Sindh, Odisha, Baluchistan, Kandahar and Ahmednagar comes under the Akbar's area. Thus he laid the firm foundation for Mughal to emerge as a powerful kingdom in medieval India. Akbar was established a powerful empire in whole India, especially in the North India. He supported the revolt of his half-brother Mirza Hakim and the Uzbeks. Those are all about Akbar's life. Now let us see literary works. Akbarnama and Ain-e Akbari. Akbar ordered one of his close friend and courtiers Abul Fazl to write a history of his region. Abul Fazl wrote a 3-volume history of Akbar's region titled Akbarnama. The first volume dealt with the Akbar's ancestors, and the second volume recorded the events of Akbar's region. The third volume is Ain-e Akbari. It deals with the Akbar's administrative system, household, army and revenue, the geography of his empire. It is also provided rich traditions and culture of the people living in India. Let us see Akbar's religious policies. Akbar could break a chain of orthodox due to his close interaction with his mother, teacher and Sufi saint. He has allowed his Rajput wives to perform puja in his palace. He has ordered against the harassing women and children of enemy state. He had also ordered not to arrest the Hindus who did not take a part in war and to turn themselves as slaves. He also ordered against the conversion of such Hindus into Islam. He abolished the jizya tax, head tax on the Hindus. He translated the Hindu religious book into Persian language. He showed the respect towards a qualified Hindus by appointing them in a high position, like Raja Todarmal was a famous minister of finance. Bhagwan Das, Man Singh, Todarmal and Rai Singh were the governors. There were 8 Hindus among the 12 members. Provincial finance minister Akbar directed the festival of Rakhi, Deepavali, Shivratri, and he should be celebrated in his court. Now let us see Deen-e-Ilahi. Akbar established a new religion called Deen-e-Ilahi in the year 1582. The best aspects of all the religions were present in this new religion. This religion was a result of a discussion held at Ibadat Khana, where the Hindus, Jains, Zoroastrians and Christians participated. He sought to interact with all of his all peoples in his kingdom through a new religion. Abul Fazl was the chief architect of this religion. Believe in one God, culture and good behavior. The main aim of Din-e-Ilahi was to control the bloodthirsty and fundamentalist force. He was a great king and able administrator. Period of medieval India. If you have any queries regarding this, comment below. Thank you for watching this.